Our top 20 video game music celebrating girl power, female character themes, female empowerment. This is the theme of Samus Aran from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. We got the girls from Final Fantasy X-2 behind us, striking a pose. Let's see how well a group of us guys can celebrate some women today, shall we? Chris is here on his wonderful lady's phone. Bambina Jensen. Let's see how we do it. Let's see what people came up with. There wasn't really any kind of a rules or criteria as other than just it being girl power. So let's see what we can do. Our first track is going to be from Tekken Tag Tournament 2. This is Heavenly Garden, Fallen Garden. Really interesting track. You know, it kind of sounds like to me almost like something you'd hear on the Sega Genesis. The way they use those sounds and those synths. It's got a really nice kind of I like the rhythm of it, the way that it goes sort of like, well, let's just stick into this heavy part. It kind of, so it almost sounds like it should be sort of heavy and marching, but it's got like a bit of a, like a nice kind of gentle like sway and a swing to it. So, and it almost has kind of like a nighttime elegance as well. Fat bass, oh yeah. Reminds you of the final dungeon of Final Fantasy 13? Yeah, it's a very mysterious theme. Definitely seems like something you'd hear like at night, glittery kind of city, somebody kicking your ass, and they're dressed real nice, you know? They are dressed to the nines, baby. Good track. A nice one to set the tone. A nice one to set a bit of tension, a bit of mystery as we start this. An elegance from another world. Yeah, I agree. This next track is from Wild Arms 3. Ready, Lady Gunner. So, a very classic kind of Western theme. Some Enrico Morricone sounding horns in the beginning. But it's got a bit of almost like a Spanish vibe to it, would you say? We got like the rhythm sounding like almost like castanets. Bit of a nice galloping feel. But it's, again, it feels sort of elegant in a way. A little more elegant, a little more, I don't know, better dressed, a little more treated with respect. So the song compliments her tomboy attitudes, according to Rudy. And it reminds Prince of one of his favorite childhood animes, B. Damon. Yeah, I think it's a nice, heroic introduction, very elegant. I gotta play this Wild Arms game. Every time we play music from it, I get so inspired. Our next track is from Grand Blue Fantasy versus Liched, the One-Liched Emperor, Fairies theme. Oh, that bass. All right, that's pretty fun. It's got a get up and go to it. It sounds like, again, like a real elegant theme to it. We're hearing a lot of violins in these tracks today, and songs that have sort of like a heavy kind of rockin' feel behind them, but then something a little more elegant or a little more classy. Something to just kind of elevate it, where it's not sounding really aggressive and maybe aggressive. It could sound aggressive. It doesn't sound as brutal as like a lot of sort of combat themes. So, is that what they're going after? Is that what we're going to be hearing a lot of? Are they just trying to convey the female energy or form by classing it up a little? Like the difference between looking at a house a bunch of guys are living as opposed to a bunch of women? Things are a little more in their place. Things are a little more considered. A little more prettier aesthetics. That last track was some anime J-rock that normally I don't like, but I thought was handled really, really well. Now, this next one is from a franchise that in its later installments, I've not been a big fan of their music, but I was surprised at the last one, so I'm going to be hoping to be surprised pleasantly with this one. This is from Sonic Adventure 2, Fly in the Freedom. Well, it definitely reminds me of a lot of what the great Persona 5 tracks were doing. I think that the vocals are done really nicely. I haven't really been paying attention to the lyrics. I find that in any of these kind of video game tracks, when you pay attention to the lyrics, it tends to get a bit wonky and wanky anyway. They're always trying to say so much, trying to explain so much of the actual gameplay that's happening. But anyways, I mean, this has just got a fantastic Latin sort of jazzy rhythm that just really like takes in some nice spots. Boom, boom, boom. Of course, it straightens out here. We got a lot of nice jazzy piano and ambience and some Latin percussion. It's really classy, something you'd hear at a nice jazz bar, or you know, it sounds kind of velvety. It sounds nice. It sounds like you're going out for a nice martini. Interesting, you hear it as beachy. The Rouge stages have all the spy jazz music. Oh, okay, yeah, spy jazz. Yeah, we could call it that too. Sort of like in that part where the spy is infiltrating their way in. Okay, so this is for Rouge in from Sonic Adventure. Great. I guess that's the female character. Female of the species. Wonderful. Does this one need any introduction? Yes, I think it does. This is Geki Teikoku Kagekidan Shinsho from Shin Sakura Taisen. Color-coded lyrics.
命をかける戦いであっても私たちはあなたと共に参ります。それが帝国歌劇団なのです。暗黒だ夜を照らし出す勇気さえは投げられた
The die is cast.
灯火守り抜く戦士たち美しい乙女舞い上がる桜この胸に染め上げて時を越えてゆく友よ手を握りこの戦いざ勝ち進め愛しい明日に光る
All right, now that is very fun, very rousing, very celebratory. Sounds like the end of the game, or maybe all the characters kind of coming together, where you know that the crisis, whatever the problem is, has been dealt with, and the girls are here to save the day. It's all downhill from here. Downhill in the best way, as in downhill, as in no more trying, no more effort, no more problems, no more drama. It's really nice. It's very sort of like Japanese pop opera. I mean, it just has like really kind of long, winding passages, and I like the way that it tells a story, actually. A lot about cherry blossoms and staining your chest with cherry blossoms in the lyrics. Look at that. Take my hand, my friend, we shall win the battle. You always win with your friends. We're leaping out to the heart-rending Imperial capital. Run faster as light, Imperial fighting troop. Next up, this is from River City Girls. It's We're the River City Girls. Yeah. And that's the song. Music by Megan McDuffie. Classic Megan McDuffie. This one's really fun. So far we've heard a lot of Japanese type anime rock. This one's cool. This one has a lot of hallmarks of rock music from, say, the 2000s, where you're sort of blending like sort of like punky beats with more like almost like proggy guitar stuff, just to make it sound like really, really epic. Pretty exciting. It has kind of like a heavy, oppressive feel, but a lot of power and epicness behind it. Pretty badass. River City Girls. Well, we definitely couldn't do a girls empowered video game music episode without our good friend Bayonetta. This is Red and Black.
Existence
Wow. It's really fun on that one to see the subtitles come up, the lyrics, and then try to guess where they're going to place them. Where the singer is going to is going to place the vocal rhythm and melody. That was crazy. That was very Bayonetta though. Very, very Bayonetta. Very elegant, very extravagant, over the top. Lots of layers, dancing across the piano. Everything is like virtuoso, very difficult to play. Just going changing key centers all the time, and long, winding passages, multiple parts. Wow. Elegance and power, definitely the themes for today. Here's another name for you. Ao no Kiseki, Unfathomed Force, original plus evolution. Yeah. Ooh. More Japanese rock, and it's pretty good stuff. It's very tastefully done. It's got great tones, and I mean, you're always going to win me over when you put in a classical passage with all this counterpoint right in the middle here. It's sort of like Rachmaninoff romantic period. Oh my god, it sounds like you're ascending to heaven. Good God. Divine is right. Oh my god. This next one was submitted by Rasher, who normally I don't remember seeing that name, so this might be Rasher's first track. If so, let's give it a proper introduction. This is from Persona Q2, New Cinema Labyrinth. The track is called Pull the Trigger from Persona 3 Portable.
Prototype, more room for growth. At the same time, it's real life on the verge of deciding the color of the rest of your life. Bit too heavy to think like that, but knowing both sides leave big impact. Get wise or rise, so it be best to find.
Some of my regrets come haunting me till this day. Choice I made, it was wrong. I felt less to believe that I was alone. I learned it harder way, but you didn't have to go through what I've been through. 'Cause you're not alone in this frustration. So come with me on your man who gets at the root and treat you alone. Make a move before they can make it last on you. The one that you can't change your own world. And nobody is there to wait for you. As long as treated, play your straight on. Like a bell for nothing, Kelly playing in the dawn. Show me the light.
Oh my god. How good is that? I mean, like Cloudy, I was saying, and Rudy as well, it's definitely an Atlas sounding track. And I think the way Atlas gets their general feel is it's always going to be a type of like upbeat jazz fusion. So it's going to have the bass is really, really active all over the place. Like, so it creates like a lot of active movement in the rhythm. The drums as well, like really quick, really, really light. It's got kind of like a slight urban feel. Like the bass and the drums are allowed to really fly all over the place and give you almost like a very fast trip hop kind of. It's funk. It's like a funky jazz fusion. And then you've also got those big horns, bah, 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 bah. And they always kind of take those horns in the same sort of register and same spot. You know, they always kind of seem to be. You could almost just play the horns, and you would know it's a Persona track or an Atlas track, because they usually have kind of like a very swanky, sort of like bluesy swank, really positive, upbeat, kind of classy. And then you toss in this rap, but I think that was just in Persona 3. They were going for more of a rap feel because they had Persona 4 was what, pop. Persona 5 was more heavy on the funk, and of course the great female vocals in so many of these awesome Atlas tracks. You can't go wrong with Atlas, and you didn't go wrong this time. Like Bayonetta, our next heroine, that is the star of this track, definitely has to be involved. It's Samus Aran, Samus, the girl from Metroid. This is her theme, Space Warrior, from the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate soundtrack. Yeah, that wasn't the best cutscene that I first put up. It was a bit male gazy as it focused on her butt over and over again, which is always a bit annoying. But yeah, I think that Claudio had described it best in that it has a military feel with the drums, heavy on the snare and the marching and sort of like those big drum sounds, especially the trumpet. It's in a slightly kind of lower register that it might actually even be a French horn, so it's got a bit of a softer tone to it. Very like heroic, but strong melodies. And then you have sort of the spacey things like those sort of sus notes that just give it like a floating kind of feel. You can hear the like floating, the like melodic trills. And what is that? The flute. Also, these sort of like bells and chiming. All this stuff kind of evokes more of like a spacey, but like a regal, elegant space. Not like you're alone in space. More like you're flying on some big giant Earth ship on your way to destroy our rivals on Mars. We'll get you, Elon Musk. No, just kidding. I love Elon Musk. This next one is from Tales of Xillia. This is a great game. If you haven't tried a Tales game, I recommend starting with Tales of Xillia. I really enjoyed it. I did not enjoy Berseria, but Tales of Xillia, fantastic. Number 1, Tales of Xillia 1. This is the battle theme to Daring Sword. Okay, so yeah, very harp heavy. Well, not harp heavy. I'd say very, very violin heavy, but a lot of harp, actually. I don't think I've ever heard so much harp before. The harp is accentuating almost every bar. It's a very, very happy, positive, overwhelmingly happy and positive. Like if you're laying in your bed and you're feeling sorry for yourself, this is your really bright, cheery friend who's coming in and they're pulling you out of your bed and they're making your bed and they're cleaning your room and they are making you go for a walk. Whether you like it or not, they're going to take some photos and you're going to get some hot chocolate and we're going to have some fun. We're going to play in the leaves until they are just going to tickle you until you smile. Are you having fun yet? Are you? It's the sound of a JRPG battle where you're only using your non-consumables. You're not using any rare healing items. You're not using up your magic in case you need it later. No mana. Just hit them with the regular attacks. Your magic users are smacking them with a staff, and you're not worried about it. It's fine. This is an interesting entry. This is from Super Robot Wars, Ash to Ash. Yeah, this is a really nice one. Pretty rockin', but it's got that sort of like lighter, elegant feel with the very nimble piano laid over top. The guitars are used as like a nice texture. There's some like really killer synth being played there. It's really fun. You know, you feel like you're just kind of swirling and whirling around, twirling. You can make them go this way and you can make them go that way, but you can't make them do this. Instrument in the background you can't distinguish, maybe the guitar. I think there's a lot of synth in it. I mean, it's probably almost all synth. The track really exudes power and elegance. Absolutely, yeah, like somebody who could easily just take you out with just pure skill, speed. And is enjoying it as they're beating your ass. It's not coming from a place of anger. It's like a place of what's the word? Inevitability. This next one, we'll see if we can find something appropriate to show for the video. This is from Catherine. It is Up, Up, Up. You know, yeah, I think that was probably made to sound like a theremin, if it wasn't a real one. You know, another thing that Atlas music tends to do is that the rhythm section is given a lot of care. So instead of just programming in, you know, there are so many little embellishments here and there. You know, wherever they're popping that hi-hat. You know, they're doing it in different spots, and it really feels like a drummer has actually sat down and played for the entire length of the track and is adding little accents, embellishments, flourishes. I'm all these different words describing the same thing. But it just feels like a band is playing it, like somebody is jamming on it. It's not just programmed in and forgotten about, so it feels alive the whole time, and because this track just sits on the same root note, doesn't really go anywhere else, it just lets everything kind of happen around it. It just keeps it going steady, and there's kind of nowhere else you can go. Inevitable. We are getting into another big one. This is from Final Fantasy X-2. A game I despise. I don't remember much of the soundtrack, so I'm really looking forward to listening to this and seeing if the music can rise above my hate for the game, much like Kingdom Hearts. Man, I really like that. It's got a sort of like a 60s kind of spy style with sort of the way the bass is going in the guitar. I love that sort of like affected guitar they have. That's kind of like dark, 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 dark. And then you've got the Atlas-y, Persona-y, sort of swanky horns, giving the girls kind of like a spy heist movie vibe. Definitely feels like Charlie's Angels. It feels like, the girls are dressed up in disguise and are causing distractions and sneaking their way in, taking things down from the inside. Japanese string instrument. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it might even be one of those big ones where it kind of looks like a guitar that's not flat, but it's like as big as like a tree trunk. It's called a Kyoto or something, or Kumba or something. Kumbaya. This is pretty fun. It reminds me of some of the music in Final Fantasy X because Uematsu had done all the tracks up to Final Fantasy IX, and then in 10 he brought in Hamazu to do the stuff, the really cool kind of ambient, ethereal stuff. But there was a third composer that was doing more like this, like electronic, kind of a dancey, poppy, kind of clubby, but like a fun, positive, funky fusion kind of dance. It's pretty cool. It's nice hearing that instrument just really get to rip it up. The tree guitar. Well, looky here, if it ain't Miss Explorer from La Mulana. Let's see what the heck this is. I think it sounds pretty similar to a lot of the tracks that we've been playing, which makes sense, not only because we are all choosing songs towards a certain category, but that they're chosen by, six people are choosing all the music. But, man, we're hearing a lot of this sort of Japanese-influenced rock, jazz fusion, really swanky. All of them have like a swanky vibe. Is that what we've chosen as men of us picking these songs? I didn't pick any of them, you guys did, but is that what you guys all think of women as swanky, elegant? Or you're just choosing themes that are written about women and about games that are centered around women, and these are the ones that the composers are choosing? We'll never know. Our second track from a game that is a tag battle. First one from Tekken Tag Tournament 2. This is Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, Princess Amagiya, Yukiko Amagi's theme. Is this Yukiko from Persona? I don't know. Oh, it is! So we've got more Japanese rock, as Ink says, wacky Japanese prog pop chord changes. We got violins. We got nimble piano. There's some strings. It's got a soft glaze of elegance. It's casino Japanese rock. What more can you say that we haven't said about all the other tracks? Other than I didn't realize there was a Blaze Blue fighting that had Persona characters in it. That's awesome. That doesn't sound like Yukiko to me. You think so? I mean, I guess she is. It definitely suits her sort of like delicate side of things, so. I guess it's all the like, and it's a fighting game, so they feel like you need to really be smashing on those drums. Fight your drums! Alright, we've had an audible called. If you're not familiar, an audible is what they call in football when they want to change up the play on the fly. Claudio has decided to swap third track for fourth track. His third track was going to be a unitheme, but we have heard a lot of Final Fantasy X-2 today. And we were talking about how we haven't had much representation for female themes in Western games. It's all been Japanese games. And of course, we do have a lot of weebs in the chat and that choose these themes, and there are a lot of Japanese games, but definitely, Japanese games and media and anime probably have a higher focus and have more roles available, even if it's just in video games, for women. So that's something that I wasn't expecting to come away with here, but that's what it's all about, learning. So this track is what most people would probably think of first when they think of Western video game lady power. We're talking about Lara Croft, the main theme from Tomb Raider 1. That was really nice, and that was definitely a big shift from the Japanese prog pop rock we were hearing, the Japanese prog pop rock Casino Royale. This was very sort of like European sounding. Almost like some influences from medieval music and just like very... I mean, obviously like the sound samples they're using are pretty primitive, but you definitely get the point that composer Nathan McCree's trying to get across. Apparently he was quite bummed out that he was not a part of the remakes and the reboots of Tomb Raider. But he's a nice guy on Twitter. He responds to anybody who... Seems like anybody who says anything about his music, he'll retweet or respond to them. So, seems like a nice dude. But it's a very kind of floaty, beautiful placement. I mean, I guess that's probably like a harp they're going for. It really feels like a Morrowind track, eh? I just love the arpeggios on that fake harp. And then you got some nice choir sounds. Like, who had said that? It seems like... Yeah, the harp definitely gives an elegant touch. And Claudio, you like to think this shows more of Laura's interest in the ancient ruins and the mystery. This definitely feels more like... This is a theme about somebody who's exploring ancient ruins and has a respect for them. As opposed to... And it happens to be a woman. As opposed to a game composer going, I'm going to write a track about this woman. This is just Lara Croft, the Tomb Raider, the person. A beautiful track. How about we I'm going to pull another Audible and let's play a track from The Last of Us. This is called Ellie's theme from All Gone, No Escape. A really heavy theme. Again, a lot of the Last of Us soundtrack is mainly played with acoustic guitars, electric guitars, and bass. And then they bring in these violins for Ellie and to show, and the like real soft horns. Apparently this plays when Joel is carrying Ellie from the surgery room. And it definitely feels like you're sort of lifting something from the ashes, like things have all kind of burnt down but now there's like no more percussion, nothing hard. Everything is played as softly and elegantly as possible, like you would, like the way you would grip somebody that you want to protect, that you want to carry, that you don't want to hurt in any way. Like you're carrying a baby bird or, a daughter or somebody who's in trouble, like Ellie. Beautiful track from the great, what's his name? Gustavo something or other. I'm sorry. Sorry, Gustavo something or other. Back to Japan for Ease 8, Lacrimosa of Dana, Eclusian Dance. that's fun. It's dancey. It's elegant. There's violins. It's a bit Latin. There's triplets on the drums. We have heard some really talented musicians bash out these themes in the name of women. And we're continuing on with our last two. This one is One Chanbara, Z2 Chaos, Two Deadly Girls. One cup. Pretty exciting song. It's got a lot of kind of like nice kind of gooey sci-fi synthy bits all over it. I really like that. Just like a nice heavy dance rock beat. This is a nice guitar tone. I like those chords too. Really kind of like hits hard. Sounds like sort of like harder kind of 90s dance. Almost like Streets of Rage type music. Oh, yes. Cool. And I also think that every girl on this screen, don't they all kind of, especially like this one here, this one, kind of this one. Don't they all kind of look like, what's her name? Cara Delevingne, the model / actress with the very intense eyebrows. I'm alive. It is now time for the last track of the top 20 and to choose next week's theme. If you're watching on YouTube, this will be the last bit of the video. Thanks for watching. If you want to participate, click the Discord link at the bottom. If you don't see a Discord link in the more or doesn't work, leave a comment and I will gladly post a Discord link. It's also on our Twitch page, a little bit below the main screen, and you can participate. You can help choose the themes. You can choose the songs. This next one is from Lollipop Chainsaw, Love for My Insane Lover. got a chainsaw on my arm and my boyfriend's head. Strapped to my belt. I'm a J-Rock song, you know. Yeah, I think this is definitely of that time period of sort of like late 90s, early 2000s. Sometimes songs will be made for a game and it sounds like music from about 5 or 10 years before that. Very, this has probably been the most J-Rock we've had in any episode. Even other ones where I thought we're going to be slammed with it, like the battle themes, were not like that at all. This is not at all what I expected when I thought of girl power, but it definitely, actually, when you think about it, it's not what I would have thought of for girl power, but when you think of like when some girls have been like really influencing music charts, like Avril Lavigne, for example, it's been done in this punky way, and Olivia Rodrigo now is really embraced some like pop punk themes. She has a lot of, really quiet, melancholy ballads, but I mean that big song, the one where she's like, "Good for you, my stomach is happy and healthy." It's very, very pop punky, just like this, like stuff that they probably would have heard when they were growing up, listening to, I don't know, Avril or Paramore or all that, all that internet stuff. So popular. So it definitely is music that is powerful but very positive. So if that's empowering to women, then hopefully so. We never claimed to be the experts on it, but we gave it a good shot. I'm glad we did. Lollipop Chainsaw. All right, let's discuss next week.